What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. It's Friday, so that means a Friday flashback. Today we're taking it all the way back to 2017. It's Mary Jane and Spider-Man. Let's see what we've got going on. Let's check it out.
Now tuning into the encountered culture.
Anyway, stop being replaced. Counter-culture to your face. Fun to pretend that you want it to end. I'd rather be drinking with my friends. When we go out, you'll never see us again.
Alright, as promised, today we're taking it over to Spider-Man Mary Jane Watson 2-pack Ultimate Universe. Let's see what we've got going on here. Before we look at this, though, you know I like to shout out my guys when they are able to hook me up with something that I didn't have in the collection. Sometimes you got to go back and, collections change and what you're doing, that changes. So, big shout out to my guy Deez. He had this. He was selling it, so I was buying. That's how that works. Got to give a shout out to him. You can find him over on Whatnot as well. Make sure you check that out. Check us all out over there. Good stuff going on. As you can tell, only some things have changed since 2017. Up here it just says Legends Series. Now you would see it as Marvel Legends Series. Similar design to the size of the packaging. So now that we've returned to the windows, we'll see that a little bit more. The newer 2-pack, like that Wolverine Sabretooth, is in the thicker box, but the sort of curvature we still see from time to time, and I imagine we will. Or, maybe this will be the throwback to that era of Legends, right? So there's Spider-Man. He's got 6 hands altogether. That's good. That's the kind of stuff you need when it comes to Spider-Man. Extra head. MJ over here, only thing she comes with, though, is the bag. So as you can tell, it's nothing new. Going back to even something like this, we were still needing some additional accessories. So nothing new there, folks. Marvel, Spider-Man down at the bottom. Flip it to the side. There's MJ. She looks good. Flip it to the back. Nice image of your figures back here. You got a little Marvel Legends series, Spider-Man and Mary Jane Watson. Though Mary Jane may always know Peter Parker as the boy next door, to the rest of the world he is better known by another name, Spider-Man. That's true. Some important information down at the bottom there, and there. Flip it to that side. There's Spider-Man. He's chilling. Look at him. Let's get these out of the box. Fresh out of the box. Here it is. Maybe not so fresh, right? It's a few years old at this point. But it is fresh out of the box in some regard. These are cool figures. The main reason I really wanted this 2-pack was for this Mary Jane. I really think this is a phenomenal figure of MJ. There's a lot to like about her, right? And I'll get a closer look at her for sure, but there's a lot to like about this MJ figure. The Spider-Man, albeit still a cool figure, I am drawn to the green glow that you get with the logo and the eyes. So it kind of gives you another version of Spider-Man for your shelf. And if you've seen the collection video, you know that I have like 3 shelves dedicated to the Spider-Verse, so there's always room for another Spider-Man. I mean, not at the moment. I'm definitely going to have to rearrange some things because I have like 3 more Spider-Man figures that need to make it onto that shelf. But you get my drift. All right, let's get a closer look at these figures and see what's going on. Taking a look at Spider-Man first, because as I said, Mary Jane was my main draw to this package. Probably not the same for everybody, right? You're a Spider-Man fan, you're buying this for Spider-Man. But at the time in 2017, there may have been other Mary Janes. If there was, I'll put a picture right here. If there wasn't, then I won't. But, until we got the retro card Gwen Stacy, this was really the best looking Mary Jane in Marvel Legends form. And to me, still is. All right, I digress. Let's get into Spider-Man. I've talked enough about MJ. All right, so you got the green eyes. Like I said, I like the green around the spider. I like the green in the eyes. Just gives you a nice little extra draw. You can see, is that some paint mishap up there? Nah, I think that's by design, right? Yeah. You're on the Pizza Spidey Bucks, so you're gangly for sure. Still, for some Spider-Man figures, and like in part of my main display, I like the Pizza Spidey Buck. It's a good lean body. Dating itself, it does have like the red pin sitting in the blue, something that we all hated, right? And that this is when pinless really matters, right? Pins don't bother me for the most part, but when you get that, it really takes away from the figure, right? But you of course you have some butterflies up here. This type of Spider-Man, this Pizza Spidey Buck, gives you a lot of range. You get to do some stuff. The ab crunch, as I say, it gives you a lot of range. The ab crunch is slightly limited, but for the time, it really did give you a good amount of range. You could really get those legs all over the place, do all kinds of things, being double jointed. It really gave you a lot of posability for your Spider-Man figures to just get them into all kinds of crazy poses, right? And that is the displayability piece. That's what you're drawn to. That's why you want a good Spider-Man, and that's why we were asking for an updated Spider-Man for so long. All right. I won't get too much into the articulation, though. You know what this figure does. You know what it's about. Let's take a look at some of the alternate hands and heads. Here is your unmasked head. Of course, we would see this head again, a little bit more beat up with that symbiote Spider-Man a little bit later on. But a really good addition to the collection in being able to have a Peter Parker head for your Spider-Man. Of course, no Spider-Man is complete without a set of thwip hands. So please take note, we always need thwip hands. Not only do we need thwip hands, but we also need your web crawlers, right? Every Spider-Man, at a minimum, should at least have your thwips and your wall crawlers. Fists, of course, are a great addition. 6 hands seems to be a good medium, a good safe place for Spider-Man hands. So if we could just get those 2 fists, 2 thwips, 2 web crawlers, wall crawlers, then I think we'll always be in a good spot. And let's, of course, not forget those fists, right? Of course, with MJ, we are limited in our accessories. No alternate head, no alternate hands. Personally, I don't think I need an alternate head for this one. I think this is a good face, fairly neutral. I don't need it to be expressive. Those are always nice to have, but I do feel like this was a good, comfortable medium and still really looks good in the collection. You got this great hair coloring. You get that taper from a lighter to a darker shade. You get those great green eyes painted in there, the freckles. Everything looks really good, especially if you're thinking that this came out in 2017. Does it look like a modern head sculpt? No. But does it look good and still look good? Yeah, absolutely. All right, so basic design here, tank top, jeans. She's got the bag. We've seen this bag a million times by now. But you can see back then when this came out, the buckles are painted in gold. Buttons are painted. So just those little details which really take it to the next level. This bag is still useful though. I say we've seen it a million times, but it's so versatile that's why, So still holds up, still a good bag for any character that needs one. Being that she is on a little bit older of a buck, your articulation is certainly limited, and you know that. You've had this figure for a while, you've dealt with it, or those of you who don't have it and are wondering, you are on those old single-jointed elbows that we, for some reason, still get from time to time, but we'd like to think that those are getting phased out for sure. Actually pretty okay upper torso motion, but nothing in the ab crunch, so you are definitely limited there. Pins, but the pins match the jeans. Obviously with this there are no pins up in these single jointed elbows, but a nice aesthetic. The huge benefit here is she's not on any sort of heel, which for those of us who have been collecting legends for a while, you understand that those heels, they often are just a pain. They barely stand, always causing you a little bit of heartburn, but not the case here. Just a really nice looking Mary Jane figure. And if you wanted to see a couple of head swaps, I'm going to do that right now. So you have the MJ head. This came with the Gwen Stacy retro carded figure. I definitely not a superior face sculpt. Both very nice. Like, they've done a really good job with Mary Jane face sculpts over the years, but this one definitely still being the favorite in my opinion. But this one you do get a lot of good color through the hair. Skin tones don't match though, so not a really good option for a head swap. And then here is a slightly more updated head sculpt. So this would be your Renew Your Vows MJ head sculpt. Again, skin tones off. Eyes a little wide on this one for my preference, but it could be okay. Obviously, if you're painting any of this to match and this is the one you like the best, it's there for you. But you can see by this time we've really eliminated any sort of detailing in the hair. And for some quick comparison here, I did pull out a Pizza Spidey and a Kit Bash MJ. So this uses the Spinneret head and the Moira McTaggart body. I am using the retro Gwen Stacy for Gwen Stacy, but you could certainly interchange all of that and do what you like for your collection. Like I said earlier in the video, this is on the Pizza Spidey Buck. You can see right there, they are the exact same figure, just painted differently. These two being very close in height. That's why the Moira McTaggart body works out really well. I like that if you bought the retro card Gwen Stacy and you wanted a MJ in your display and you didn't have this one or another MJ to use. So just a little tip there. All right, folks. Well, there you have it. There was your Friday flashback from 2017 Marvel Legends series, Spider-Man and Mary Jane Watson. I hope you enjoyed that. I hope you are enjoying these Friday flashbacks. Of course, I would appreciate it if you check out any of the other videos. But if you're here just for the Friday flashbacks, stay tuned every Friday. There'll be another one of these, and it just depends. It won't always be a Mezco. It won't always be a Marvel Legends. It could be anything from any time, right? It's just a way to look back on a figure that came out at some point in the past that I either haven't had a chance to get in the collection or I haven't gotten around to opening. If you collect a lot of figures, you got a few boxes lying around that you'll get there when the display allows, right? So you know what I mean. You got it. All right, so I appreciate you checking out the video. Appreciate you staying this long if you have. Of course, you can always find me on these socials here. Most importantly, though, don't forget to hit that like and subscribe below. And until next time, take it easy.
I'm being erased, I'm being replaced. Counterculture, it's in your face. It's fun to pretend that you want it to end. I'd rather be drinking with my friends. When we go out, you never see us again.